Thank you. This week, hundreds of para-athletes are competing in the Desert Challenge Games, sponsored by Arizona Disabled Sports. 12 News journalist Rachel Cole joins us live from Lehigh Sports Park with all the action. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Tram. We are talking a little bit with Coach John. So we just had a practice round. It looked like it went really well. How are the athletes doing?
They look really good. I think they're all doing real good, and I'm excited to see how the end of the day comes out.
I know you've been coaching these athletes for almost a decade. What makes you want to be involved in Arizona Disabled Sports?
The love for archery, and again, just watching these folks, when the light bulb comes on, it all goes together.
Which is so great. And we know that we are seeing athletes of all ages and all abilities out here on the range. We've got more than 200 competing today. That's part of what makes it so special, yes?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. All age groups, all disabilities or abilities, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing, you guys. Thank you, Coach. We're looking at all of the volunteers out here again with more than 200 athletes in two separate rounds. So the other round kicking off later today, but the first one just getting underway. So we just saw the practice round, and boy, these athletes are competitive. There's 660 points up for grabs. There's line judges out here making sure that every point is getting counted for these athletes, and then awards will be dispersed at around 6:30 with the second round of competition happening at 10 o'clock. But amazing athletes. We already chatted with Ariel, who did say that she always gets the gold, but she was a little shy earlier today. And Emerson, he's going to do really well as well. So we'll send it back to you guys in the studio from Lehigh Sports Park.
Oh, Rachel, thank you so much. A new study published in the journal Child Development shows that empathy can actually be taught. Researchers studied 184 people for 2 decades, and through a series of interviews with mothers, teens, and one of the teens' friends, they found empathy shown by mothers predicts empathy shown by kids to their friends. Researchers found empathy from a mother to be most important at 13 years old. Moving ahead, teens who showed greater empathy went on to be more supportive of their own children. Psychologists say the key to being empathetic with your kids is fairly simple. Look and listen more. Well, it's time now to ask the expert. Here to answer your questions live on air about prioritizing mental health is Julianna Lyddon. All right, Jamie from Phoenix says, as someone who has played the peacemaker role in my family my whole life, I have a difficult time setting boundaries with people in my life. I am also a people pleaser, which makes it even more difficult for me. Are there some small ways I can help myself with those needed boundaries in life?
Yes, and I love the peacemaker.
Yes.
I just want to give a shout out to the peacemaker because they're so important.
I know.
And I get how they can get caught up in this kind of cycle.
Right.
But you just have to pick and choose, and you have to begin. You just have to try. You can start out slow, small, find those little things where you're just going to start to practice.
Right.
Saying that, I'm not going to tolerate this. You might say no, whatever it is, you just have to push yourself.
Okay, step by step, baby steps. All right. This viewer says, how do I tell my kids I need to take time out for me? Is that being selfish? What about my partner?
It is not being selfish. I say all the time, the parents are the nucleus of the family. So it moves from that.
Yeah.
So it's so very important that we make decisions together and that we take care of each other and we love one another, because that's going to overflow to the kids.
Right.
So it is not selfish. It is necessary. Make that time together.
Okay.
Keep that connection alive and let your kids know, hey, we need our time away too.
Right. But what about the partner, though? Being selfish when it comes to, your partner and their needs versus your needs. How do you play that?
Well, you're going to have to just kind of have that discussion too. Open lines of communication. If you're feeling that something isn't working there and you're not, in it, you've got to make it really clear.
Yeah, you got to bridge that gap.
You do.
Okay.
You do.
Oh, that is tough. All right.
Is.
Rachel says, are there any apps you recommend that help with mindfulness?
Yes. There's one called Calm, and there's
Oh,
one
yeah, I've heard
called Headspace.
Okay.
I actually have a hatch that I love that I sleep with every night, and it does like biofeedback, relaxation.
Ooh.
It does bedtime stories.
Wow.
All kinds of cool things. So there's
That is
so many
cool.
things out there.
Okay,
that you
good
can
to know.
find.
This viewer says, I've heard journaling or meditation can help. Is that true? How long do I need to do it for every day? We've talked about journaling.
Yes, we talked about journaling. Journaling is great. Get everything up here out of your head onto paper. Meditation, when we go into that place of silence, that's where all the creativity is born.
Yeah.
So the more you can do it, you can even do walking meditations. Even sitting for a little while in silence is super powerful.
Okay.
Again, bit by bit.
Yeah, you just sparked another segment. The different ways to meditate. Yeah, walking, sitting, all of that stuff.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, we'll do that. This viewer says, when is it time to talk with an expert or my doctor?
So when you notice you're just not yourself, we all know when we get out of alignment, when we're just not happy, when day after day it's perpetuating this mood, these feelings.
Right.
And really step into getting some help, getting some support.
Don't be
There's
afraid.
so much out there, you know, and you know, we can help you move through that.
Yeah, and it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to get help. I mean,
everything.
I feel like back in the day it was so taboo, right?
Yes.
But these days, I mean, it's just part of life and therapy.
Life.
Yeah.
We all need support at some point in our lives.
Right. It's
all
more
of us.
accepted. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Julianna, thank you so much.
Yes,
We
thank
so
you.
appreciate